This channel is about prison reform, criminal justice reform, and inmates' rights while they're in jail. Um, Obviously, people who've been to jail and prisons don't get treated the way they should be treated. Like in other video I made talking to Kenny, part 1 and 2. Go catch part 1 and 2, Kenny, on the Life After Lockdown channel. You may have hard to find it. You might have to type in on your YouTube channel Life After Lockdown Kenny, Kenny, to find it, because a lot of people are using it from the pandemic. Life After Lockdown, they're using that title. So until this gets off the ground and the algorithm of YouTube picks it up, then it's starting to catch up a little bit now that a couple of 3 videos are on there. I did part Kenny part 1, part 2, and then my story part 1, and I'll be doing my story probably tomorrow or the next day, part 2 of my story. So, but we do prison reform, inmate justice reform, inmate conditions. We help them out. As the channel grows, people in the comment section can actually help the inmates out. They can put money on their phone, their books, be pen pals with them. But the word is, we're working on this one jail of a friend of mine. He's locked up. He just got sentenced to 20 years. He's been out of jail for 16 months, already sentenced, okay? And he's waiting to be transferred. With COVID and everything, that slowed everything down. Through every jail, every prison, I'm hearing through the grapevine from everybody, slowed everything down, obviously, right? So inmate or COs are calling off. There's been 8 COs that called off, totally quit. So that means they're locked down half the time, and they don't get no sunlight. They don't go out to the yard much. They got artificial fluorescent light, which your body, we know, needs vitamin D. We know that now. We learned that. People didn't know, but now we learned it with the pandemic, right? So, and they're not taking the right COVID measures. When they leave the building, they make them wear a mask, but they don't have to wear a mask when they're in the tier with, I don't know, it's I think he said it's meant to hold 30 people, and there's 60. There's like 3 in the cell now, which is illegal. Which, I'm in Delaware, and there's a prison called Gander Hill that does 3 in a cell. They've been doing it since the early 90s, and lawsuits, thousands of lawsuits. Not one person won that I heard of. And I talked to a lot of people that have been to jail. I have a lot of personal friends that have been to jail. I've been to jail myself. I'm going on 8 years out of the system. Off paper completely. No fines, no probation, parole, nothing. Just 2 traffic tickets since then. And that's in my first part 1 story. But anyway, we do prison reform. So we want to help these people, because prison is punishment enough. You don't have to be punished more by the COs, correctional officers, in jails or prisons, right? Prison is much better than jail. County jails, all jails around America are mostly worse. Well, the conditions are always worse. The scenario, they're always worse than prisons. Prisons, you got grass, you got trees. You can go out there and sit. Sometimes you can even get a guitar. They'll let you get the guitar, TV in your cell, radio, all that stuff. County, you get none of that. You get nothing, because it's pre-trial jail. So my boy, this man's been sentenced for this long, and he has supposed to have been sent to one of the other 2 prisons in West Virginia. So he's been there a long time, man. And not just him, all the inmates are being treated horribly. They don't give them the right cleaning products, mop bucket and the mop and the little cleaning soap balls to clean your cell, to clean the floor, clean the walls, wipe the walls down. They don't give them the right wipes, antiseptic wipes. 99% kills bacteria. They ain't giving them none of that. So I can imagine they're talking about politically about passing around COVID. Well, This, you can't get no worse than that. 3 to a cell. Nobody's wearing masks. Nobody can wipe themselves down. You know what I mean? And they can't clean themselves properly to protect yourself from this thing. You know, if this thing is legit. So he's in a bad spot right now. But we also welcome not just the inmates that are in jail, but people that got out of jail. That's why it's titled Life After Lockdown. It has different meanings, meaning you already got out, you reformed yourself, you're doing good, you're staying out of the prison system, you know, probation parole is over with, or if you're on probation parole, you do interviews, share that with us here. You could share your drug history, your drug addict, or if you're a current drug addict or past drug addict. Once you're drug addict, you're always drug addict, right? But current using drug addict or one that doesn't use anymore, you're welcome on this channel as well. We welcome that. People on probation parole, like I said, and families that have their child's father, their sons, their daughters, their fathers, mothers, whoever in jail. We welcome them on the show as well, because, man, let me tell you, they're doing time just like you. They gotta work extra time, overtime, and all that, and it takes extra money out of their wallet because they got to put money on the phone, they got to put money on the books, they have to go out of their way and travel to do it, you know, get a visit, and this the person Kenny, part 1 and 2, his family can't really go out to West Virginia a lot. We're in Delaware. I mean, that's a little ride, you know what I mean? That's 3-4 hours away, and every weekend, you know, that's hard for somebody, and the gas prices. So he's not getting many visitors, and you know, they're cutting out a lot of stuff for a lot of people, not just in his jail, but Delaware jails too. So it's inhumane conditions, and this is one of the reasons I started this channel, is to start a dialogue about your past history in jail, about people in jail I'll be communicating with, like Kenny, on video. We do full video, full audio interviews if you're video shy, and live streaming like I'm doing now. I'll be live streaming with somebody from jail. I was supposed to do one today, but things got a little messed up. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'll do part 3 with Kenny, which the first 2 parts are audio. This is the first video. Tomorrow, I'll be doing with Kenny. Hopefully, cross your fingers, you know what I mean? You know how stuff works, because they'll be locking you down at any time, and you know, schedules are all messed up. Matters who the CO is, if he's a jerk. And to spread awareness to youth, to kids, that jail is not cool whatsoever. Jail is a cold stop. I'm a 4-time felon. I got 4 felonies, and I'm trying to get expunged now. And it's hell. You got to write each governor, each state. I got 1 felony in conviction in Delaware. I got 2 in Maryland, 1 in Florida. But that's not counting all the arrests, too. You got to get expunged. And I got tens and tens of them, felonies and misdemeanors. I can't even count the misdemeanors. But and I got charged with big stuff when I was 19 that ruined my life at 42 years old. So we spread that to the youth and kids of how it affects, even though you did jail and get out. You do 1 year, 2, 5, 3, 10, 15, 20. Kenny's doing 20. You know, he's probably going to get out almost when he's 50 years old, man. I'm 42. He's around my age, maybe a year younger. So, but it's no joke. You're away from your kids. You're away from your parents. People could die. Your family members could die. I lost my grandmother when I was 19. She was like my mother. I was living in my grandmother's house, and she died 2 months later, was diagnosed with lung cancer. And I had 2 attempted murder charges, 1st degree, premeditated, and 2 gun charges. And my grandmother died, and I couldn't go to her funeral We tried to get the chaplain to talk to the warden. Warden wasn't having it because of how serious my charges were. That was back then. Now they just don't let nobody go to funerals. I mean, in this state that I heard, even if it's misdemeanors, if you're in custody, you're not going to no funerals. You know what I mean? Or if it takes a long process. But how are you going to give heads of time when somebody's going to die? Like, you know, the timeline and everything. So basically, you're going to miss loved ones that die when you're in jail. You're gonna miss out on your kids growing up. You know, it's no joke. This is life we're talking about. You only have one of them, and don't be influenced by music. You know, myself, like I said before, I like rap and rock music the most. But rap, you know, I prefer if I listen to rap more than rock. You know, I just do. Just from the area I grew up in and what I was influenced as a kid, but not this era of hip hop. You know, I listened to the old school 90s and late 80s stuff, but and that influenced me as a kid. I'm not going to lie. It hypes you up, you know, and it makes you want to do stupid stuff. Makes you want to go out with your homeboys, your friends, and stir up some stuff. You know what I mean? To where you'll wake up in a jail cell, or you know, drug use. Let's go on drug use, peer pressure from your friends. Hey, take this pill. Ain't gonna do much. You know what I mean? Hey, little Billy, come over here, man. Look, you see me take it. I'm okay. I'm not gonna die from it. That drugs are dangerous these days. When I was growing up, we knew what was it. We knew exactly what it was. Now there's fentanyl and everything. There's fentanyl that looks just like pain pills that these kids are doing. There's fentanyl in marijuana and weed. There's fentanyl in everything. So it's dangerous. You don't even know what you're getting unless it comes from a pharmacy. And pharmaceuticals, just as bad as illegal drugs, just as bad. It's just a legal form of getting high. That's all it is. And, you know, for the drug users and stuff, I've been clean almost 5 years, November 22nd, 2021. I'll be clean 5 years. November 22nd, 2016 is when I said I'm done. I'm done. And I quit on my own. No meetings. I didn't have to go cry my heart out at AA and AA, NA and AA. But if it works for some people, shout out to you. I'm glad it does. Whatever it does to get you sober, that's what's up. But me reminding myself about it, I don't need to be reminded of it. I went to a NA thing just to walk in there about a year ago, and it reminded me of it. And I was like, I'm never going back to one of these. It just don't work for me. But if it works for you, shout out to you. So we talk about everything that could be relatable of you going to jail or prison. You can't talk about drugs without going to prison. You can't talk about your childhood, whether it was good or bad, coming from a broken home, no dad, you know, or no mom, or just no, or you know, coming from group homes and being an orphan, growing up in a orphanage or whatever. If you're adopted, and foster care parents abused you, and you ran away from home. It all ties in. It's all one periscope of ending up going to jail and prison. So basically, that's what this channel is about. And I'll be uploading at least 2-3 videos a week. I might do one every day just so I can just keep going, so the views can go up, subscribers can go up, just keep feeding, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not computer savvy. I made people wait, you know what I mean? And talk about servers and all that, but I'm going to learn as I go on. And it's going to be a hot channel, I promise, because I got a list of my old homeboys that's in jail right now. That's free. That's on probation, parole. I got friends that are still addicts actively right now, hardcore drugs, needles, snorting, whatever. I got every imaginable friend you can have that damaged their life in some kind of way will be on here and talk about it to bring awareness. Because it's bringing awareness, man. And it can bring awareness not just to kids, but to adults too. See, in a way, I'm glad. I'm not glad, but I'm kind of, what's the word? I'm kind of relieved that I got all my partying and all that stuff done when I was young. Because if I started at 25, 30, 35, shit, I'd be homeless. I was homeless for 8 months in Elkton, Maryland. That was the worst time I've ever been. Drug use brings you to homelessness. And homelessness is worse than prison and jail, believe it or not. Homeless is bad, real bad. I'll promise you that. Because you don't have 3 hots in a cot. You don't have 3 guaranteed meals. You don't have a bed that's guaranteed. Nah, you got to sleep in a tent in the woods with other homeless people and hope they don't steal your stuff and hope they don't rob you. You know what I mean? Me, I had to literally go to Acme, eat out of those, those snack bars where you could make salads with the hard-boiled eggs and the pieces of bacon, all that. I ate that every day for about 3 months, and then one not getting caught or nothing until I walked out. I was walking out with little hens, the pre-cooked chicken, little hens and everything, eating them as I'm walking back to the homeless camp and all that, man. Because you know why? Because why it lasted 8 months, I didn't want to break the law. For one, I was like, no, I'm not going back to jail. I'm not going back to jail. And that was the most suicidal I was too. Facing life at 19 years old. And the worst I ever did, the worst I ever came to actually wanting to think about suicide was 8 months homeless. Not facing life in prison. It was being homeless for 8 months. On the 3rd month, I almost had it. I was like, I'm just going to jump off this bridge or hang myself from this tree. Be done with it all. Family wasn't helping me. See, family don't help you when you keep coming in and out of jail. They cut you off. There's a cutoff line. There's a line in the sand. And you can't blame them. You can't blame them. After as much times they bail you out of jail and help you, give you money, put your money on the books every time you go to jail, you think they're going to keep helping you every time? Hell no. They're not going to keep helping you. They're going to be like, oh, he's a lost cause, or let the Lord take care of him, or he just got to be being tired of being tired. And that's what I was. I was tired of being tired. I was tired of being talking to like an animal. I was tired of being in a cell. I was tired of being institutionalized. Sometimes I think I still am. But and that's one of the main reasons I want to start this, is because there's a lot of my friends that are institutionalized and actually feel comfort and safety inside of jail and prisons. Some go there just to unite with their friends. When I was homeless, I told you I stole that food and everything just to eat every day. I purposely got caught. I purposely waited for the manager to be right there just to get a small charge. It was July, full blown. I got skin cancer. I was so dark you would think I was Guatemalan or Mexican. I mean, I was dark. You know what I mean? I'm Italian and Polish, so you would think. I mean, I got pictures that I'll be posting, and using as thumbnails, but it was bad. I was sweating every day, addicted to heroin, and starving every day. There ain't nothing like having your stomach being so starving. You're literally losing like 2 pounds a day, right? Because you got to walk around. You got to walk. And the girlfriend I had, you got to walk around to go get your fix so you're not sick off the drugs. So the first thing you do when you wake up in your tent, or wherever you do, on the corner or the sidewalk you're sleeping on, homeless. You got to go get your fix. You got to get well, or you can't eat. So first you go get well. Then, as in my case, I went to the grocery store every day to eat for free. So did she. And we broke up at the end, like the last 2 weeks. I said, you know what? I'm going in, man. I'm going in. And let me tell you, I did it right in front of the manager. I just didn't let them, I didn't run or nothing. I waited for them. They took me in for a little petty theft. And I sat like 3 months in there in jail, in the county jail. And once I got in there, and I haven't watched TV or nothing for those 8 months being homeless, right? And didn't really have much to talk to except the other homeless people. But homeless people are really quiet. They stick to themselves unless they have like a little community of 4 or 8 people, something like that. But I was so relieved that there was guaranteed food 3 times a day, and the AC was so cold. I haven't felt AC, air conditioned, in 8 months. I had a smile on my face in booking. I was like, now I could chill and relax. That's pretty bad. But that's America. That's pretty bad that I had to do that to get relief from being homeless. Not saying jail is good, but homeless, to me, in my opinion, is worse. Unless you have people that can help you, put you in the shelter, get your life straight, help you save money, not charge you much rent so you can save money, then it ain't that bad. But if you don't have nothing at all and you're on your own, it's bad. And there ain't no food, Christian places feeding all the homeless people around you. It's bad. So it's just to spread awareness about everything, basically about life, about hard times of life, and specifically prison inmates, what they go through, the treatment they go through, bad treatment. We're going to expose it. Every jail, every interview we have of every inmate, we're going to have a lot of people from jail on this channel. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it down to like one interview, one 15, 20-minute interview per person, unless it's audio. We only have 15 minutes on the phone with audio, but each person, I'm going to probably do 2 parts, do 1 part, then do another inmate, and then later on, like 10 other interviews later, then I'll do a part 2 of that inmate. You know what I mean? And mix it around a little bit so people ain't get bored with the same person. But you can actually send money on their books. I'll put in the description and stuff like that after every interview. You can pen pal them. You can write them if you like these inmates. Not everybody in jail is a bad guy. There's a lot of good people in jail. There's a lot of bad people in jail that should never see daylight. Trust me. Believe me on that. So it's just to help the ones that you think that are good. And I won't have pieces of crap on my in my interviews on my show, on my channel here. I refuse to have any pedophiles. There won't be no sexual offenders. But first of all my friends that's doing interviews from jail, there's no sex offenders on their pods or tiers anyway. So, but my own beliefs, that's not going to happen. Call me cold-hearted or whatever, or like we're all people and all people should be loved and forgiven. Not them. They can't be fixed, in my opinion. They're sick people. Pedophiles are sick people, and that's just my beliefs, and they're not going to. Will not give them a chance to even speak. In jail, when I was doing my thing, we didn't give them a chance to speak or do nothing. But it's not I'm not to go negative about it. This is a positive channel. It's going to remain a positive channel. Trying to keep the curse words down so I can make these videos for kids, because I mark it under educational. So you notice I haven't cursed yet, and I'm going to keep the cursing down. The first few video parts with Kenny was cussing. I ain't heard from him in a while, and it's just regular conversations. In part 2, we started getting in real deep into the jail. And then tomorrow when we do video, he already has a list, and I already have a list too of what we talk about. Every interviewer I have I'm gonna go over this list. Okay, I'll read it out. Every interviewer, before once they come on, I'm gonna start. Number one, talk about their childhood, whether it was good or bad. Number two, we'll talk about their teenage years, happy, good, sad, you know. And number three, the first trouble they had with the law, whether it was their teenage years or adult years. Number four, probation and parole, if they're still on it, or if they're going to be on it while they get out of jail, or if they're free right now and are on it, and what their opinions are of it, and have they got violated, their experiences about that, and where they were sent to, and the conditions of the place they were sent to are being violated, and what was the reason for them being violated. Number five, why do you keep offending? Is it your fault you keep breaking the law? Or is it the state, the probation officers a lot of POs that violate you on technicals and small stuff. I got violated for change the address, giving my PO a voicemail on a Friday, change of address 48 hours before. They changed the policy a week earlier. It was supposed to be 72 hours of change of address. And I told her the whole week, I'm moving. I'm going to be moving, changing my address. So she played me for a fool. She locked me up. I went to a work release program in Delaware called the Plumber Center. So we'll be talking about stuff like that. And, do you think that you're institutionalized? Do you feel that you're comfortable in jail? It's all about honesty that I'm going to be asking these inmates. If you do keep violating, why do you keep violating? Each inmate has their own story. Each person is their own person. So it'd be real interesting hearing from each inmate that I'll have on here, or non-inmate, or ex-drug addict, or current drug addict, or whatever, because sure, if you are a career drug addict, you were in jail a few times, or got caught with it, or sold it, or whatever. It's like I said, it's all into one. It's all cousins of each other. Number six, I'll be asking each interviewer about how they do their time. How do they go about it? Do they work out? Do they ignore the outside? Do they do dumb stuff like putting calendars up in their cell, which is the worst thing to do? If you're facing a case right now, don't ever put a calendar up, ever. Even if you got 6 months in jail, don't ever, ever, ever put a calendar up. I first did that when I was 19. I did talking to that part 1 or 2, I forget what it was, with Kenny, and he was laughing. He was like, hell no. Don't never put a calendar up. Do you let the time do you? Or do you do the time? Do you let the time? I didn't say that right. Do you let the time do you? Or do you do the time? Me, first thing I do is, there's been 3 or 4 times I went there strung out. Literally weighed 160, 170 pounds. Came out 225, cock diesel big. All I do, my workout is, I start working out. I don't start working out till about 2 weeks, until, I withdraw, because when I was going to jail in Delaware and Maryland, they don't give you nothing for withdrawal of any drug. Now they do. Finally, it took a lot of people like me, and I had a seizure in booking too and almost died. And I never have seizures. First seizure I had in my life, I almost died. Then I had another seizure 3 years later, after I violated on some dumb technical. Oh, is when I stole that food on purpose to go to jail. I had a seizure in there, coming off of heroin, that I'm almost 8 years clean of, and I'm proud to say that. Number 7, I'll be asking each inmate I interview, are you institutionalized? I'll be asking them straight up. Do you think you're institutionalized? Are you okay with this life? A lot are going to say no. But as the questions go, you're going to realize how much times they've been in and out of jail. And you may think, well, you must love it there. Well, me, my personal self. I want to eat the food I want to eat. Delicious food on the street. Delicious food is horrible anywhere you go. Some jails are better and prisons are definitely better than jails food. But jails, they vary, whether it's really, really bad or the one in Maryland County Jail I was at, very bad. The one in Delaware, a little bit better than the Maryland one. So, so I'm going to ask them straight up, are you institutionalized? Do you think you're institutionalized? And get their opinions on that. See how they react to that. But it's not a joke, though. It's the sickness, man. It's really sad to see somebody institutionalized because some people don't have, when they get out of jail, they don't have no family to go to. They don't have no family, no friends. Even their friends don't mess with them no more. They don't mess with them no more because they're like, bro, you've been doing 5 here, 8 there, 10 years, 20 years. You just got to lay it down. And now I'm 50 or 42 or 35 years old. I got a family and kids. What do we have in common anymore? The last time we hung out is when we were like 22, 23 or 18, 19. Like, what do you have in common with a friend that keeps going in and out of jail? That's important. Think about that. I used to have a lot more friends. I still got friends, but I don't talk to many friends anymore and stuff like that. But I have picked some back up because I've been out of system about 7 and some change, almost 8 years, like I said. And number 8, I'll be asking these, Jim mate, will you ever change and live a normal life? Do you think you can ever change? Do you think you can ever live a normal life? These are, even if you don't have no family, no friends, or nothing, starting from the beginning. If you got to go to a group home, if you got to go to work release, follow the programs and all that stuff, stay out of trouble, don't hang out with other inmates that are bad influences and stuff, keep your eye on the prize, get your own place, efficiency, whatever it has to do, you got to do to start getting your own stuff, so nobody could take it from you. Me, I was a drug dealer for 8 years. I made a lot of money. If I didn't do those pills that I sold, I would probably came out of jail with $200,000 cash. Guarantee it. If I buried it somewhere, because they drained all my bank accounts and took a brand new Audi A8 too. Yeah. That I gave some person that was on pills. Gave 300 pills for a brand new Audi A8. This was 2011, and it was a 2008 Audi A8, the big boy, the full luxury John, baby blue with peanut butter grain and peanut butter seats inside. So 9, 10, 11. It was only 3 years old with like 26,000 miles on it for 300 M boxes. Come on, man. So, and like I said, that's why I'm putting addicts on here of what they sacrifice, their businesses, addicts over pills, the pill epidemic, the opiate epidemic. People are still doing it with the fentanyl because pills are hard to come by now, that I hear. That you sacrifice your business, your wife and kids left you. Kids ain't want nothing to do with you. So I'll be asking normal people like that. Even if you got pulled over for a speeding ticket and you felt the cop did you wrong. This is police reform too, because bad cops can't be tolerated. We can't tolerate bad cops. You know what I mean? They can't be tolerated, man. I know everybody say, well, there's no such thing as a good cop. I ran into a lot of good cops. Now I don't know if they go and be quiet when another bad cop slams somebody's head on the hood of a car and calls people names and all that stuff, just an ignorant cop. I don't know if they look the other way or not, but I had a lot worse than good. But the good ones that I had, when they gave me my ticket or whatever, or got arrested, I appreciated that cop didn't treat me like crap. You know what I mean? And number 9, I'll be asking each interviewer. I should not say inmate, interviewer, because it's all a mixture of people I'll be interviewing. Well, this is for inmates. What will you do when you get out? And what are your plans? This could be for people in jail, prison, work release, rehabs, detoxes, What will you be doing? What's your plans? You got to have a plan. You can't just freestyle it. I freestyled it 3-4 times all my life. You can't just freestyle it and be like, I think I'm going to do this and that. And I think it'll work out. Most likely it ain't going to work out. You got to have a plan. You must have a plan what you're going to do in life when you get out, whatever institution it is, state hospitals, private hospitals, that insurance paid for, whatever, rehabs, jails, prisons, any institution, have to have a plan of what you're going to do. That'll be interviewed too about that. And last and not least, number 10, what I'll be asking my interviewees or interviewers, whatever you say, call them, educating the kids. We're going to be educating the kids. How are you going to educate your own kids when you get out of jail or when you get off drugs? And talking about juvenile jails and the kids in jail and preventing them from going to jail. That's what we do. We'll be spreading the word on this channel about. And just tell them our experiences on here. That's all we could do is spread the word about our experiences of what we all been through as adults. And I'll even have juveniles on here. Tell me about juvenile jails. Juvenile jails are rough. As I said before, juvenile jails, man. And kids, they're facing life. They're facing 10, 15, 5 years. Even a year is rough for a juvenile. Even a year, even 6 months is long for 15, 16, under 18 years old. I did a year from 16 to 17 years old. I had my girlfriend write me. She wrote me about 3 letters a week. Those letters kept me alive. That was the very first time I ever got locked up. It was for first-degree robbery. I was 16 years old. Me and a friend of mine robbed somebody. Turned out the kid was blind in one eye. My first offense. I never got OR'd either. When you go for video bail, when you get arrested, for anybody who's never been arrested, you go for video bail once you get arrested. Cop puts you in handcuffs. You go to the station. You sit for maybe, 45 minutes to an hour. You go see a video judge on video camera, just like this. He determines if you're going to get bailed out or not, or you go to jail. The cop prepares you to go to jail, county jail. So, but yeah, this kid was blind in one eye, man. And they gave me a $10,000 cash bail on my first offense. And we robbed him for me and my friend. I won't say his name, put people out there like that. And I always say allegedly. If somebody wants to talk about their open case, whether you're juvenile, adult, or whatever, or if you're on the street fighting a case, I will always use the words allegedly. And I highly suggest you use that word allegedly. Allegedly. Never say, yeah, I did all that. I don't want none of these, my videos, please don't do that to me. My videos to incriminate you and let the law and police and the prosecutors use it against my video against you. No, I'm not like, other channels I'm talking about that incarcerate other people from and use their videos as evidence that come up in their discovery. And they're like, damn, I said that. I should have never been on Glad. I mean, whatever. I don't want to, talk about other channels, but so that is basically about it. Prison reform, criminal justice reform, all the way down to inmate treatment, all the way down to how the courts play you, how they offer you plea deals to scare you if you have a criminal history already. They scare you not to go to trial because if you lose and go to trial, they'll bang you in the head because in the state of Delaware, it's like $30,000 to $35,000 you go to trial. Felony or misdemeanor, don't matter. And if you lose, you're going to get the maximum. I got the maximum plenty of times. So they put fear in you to take a plea. I took pleas all my life. Went to trial one time, but I took pleas all my life. That's why I have a bad record. And I'm 42 years old and I can't get a job. So this is mostly, that is really more important than a lot of stuff too. Just as important as people go, what they're going through in jail, people on probation, parole, they're afraid of getting violated or going to get violated or going to court and being taken in for a warrant, or they missed a court date by accident because they forgot to change the address and they call up the court and they say that's your responsibility, blah, blah, blah. You get a KPS warrant out for your arrest, scared to death that you're going to go in and not going to give you another bail. And you're going to sit there through your whole court dates. You know what I mean? There's fear in all this, man. They put fear in you, and that's their whole idea. Everything is designed. Everything is designed. 85% of Black Americans are filled in our jails in the United States. And what was it? 10% Spanish and 5% white, somewhere around there. Spanish is about 5 to 6% more than white, but white is the lowest on the totem pole. White people on the street are the majority, but in prison and jail, they're the minority. Unless you roll with a gang and all that stuff, and we'll be talking about that soon too. That some prisons you got to get down, or you get down to lay down, you know. So we'll be going through all that stuff. But prison reform, criminal justice reform, inmate conditions, probation parole reform, because probation parole is supposed to help you. It's supposed to guide your life in a better direction to get off probation parole, right? But no, we have something called a prison complex, like the military industrial complex. We have private prisons and we have the prison industrial complex, where politicians, yes, the people you vote in, make money off of this. Bob Barker, the great old Bob Barker, he ain't so great. Turns out all the paperwork came out on old man when he died recently, just like a couple years ago. You know how much money he made? Tens of millions of dollars. Bob Barker soaps, just putting his names on it. Socks, shampoo, shower shoes, because you got to wear shower shoes in jail, or there's flesh-eating bacteria that eat your feet up, and plus you don't want to know what's on the floors of the showers either. That's worse. Well, I don't want to say it's worse than World War II Germany, but a lot of things been killed in there. Not people, but almost people. But stay tuned. More videos will be dropping. I appreciate you watching this video. Spread it around. Please like and share, man. I'm putting my heart into this. Subscribe to the channel. When you go for others that you share it too, of course they'll find it, but you might have to type in Life After Lockdown Kenny, because he is the first 2 videos. Until I get more videos up, I think Kenny has to go after Life After Lockdown, the title. If you put the title on YouTube on top search bar. Yeah, we're going to be doing this, and I'm non-stop in it. I'm investing crazy money in this equipment and everything. This ain't going to be cheap production. I'm going to be doing ads you see when you scroll down on YouTube on your phone, everything, man. Because I felt this, and I always said I'm going to get payback. In my mind, I was like, I'm going to get payback on these COs. I'm going to get payback on the whole system, the whole private prison thing. And I learned this young, man, at like 20, that they actually make money off of us. And it made me sick, man. And how they treated me and all my friend. I seen people go schizophrenic. I did 8 months straight in the hole, the longest I did. But I've seen people come out after 3 months schizophrenic, talking to themselves, doing a Thorazine shuffle, we call it. Thorazine, that medicine, makes you into a zombie. You're walking like this. You go, hey, what's up, man? They're just, it's all on purpose. It's all designed. It was politically designed in the 70s to break up families. That's why I see so much Black Americans in jail, 85%. The dad is not home. There's no father at home. Kids listen to their dads more than their moms. That's a fact. Girls do too. Nowadays, this generation, they ain't listen to nothing really. It's very rare. I'm not saying everybody, but it's very rare that they all listen. But we'll be keeping up on them topics. So I've been blabbing long enough. You guys have a good day. And I'm Petey Rex. And I'm out of here. Life After Lockdown. Like and subscribe. Left hook. Tats, jail tats. Left hook that like button for me. And let's make a change. One video at a time. Peace.